that's one of my favorite Bible verse of all time. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not into your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. Like I wake up in the morning sometime, I don't know what to do. I'm like, Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Not just like with your mind, but with all your heart. And I feel like this Bible verse really encouraged me. And I'm pretty sure it will encourage you to invite God into every aspect of your life. And I think that also has to be including your relationship. Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode, y'all, of the Blissology Podcast. I'm your girl, CC, and I'm joined by the one and only Mr. Go ahead.
You know, this is a one of a kind intro. So hey everybody, this is Will. Welcome back.
Well, take it.
I'm taking it.
Okay, good.
Yes, I'm hoping that all my intros are like that.
What? No.
But anyway, hey, what's up, everybody? This is Will. Welcome back to another episode of the Blissology Podcast. If this is your first time with us, please remember to subscribe and hit on the notification bell so we can notify you when videos like this one, where CC does this unusual intro.
And you don't appreciate, you don't like them.
I do appreciate it.
It's like, what is this new thing is going on? I don't want new stuff.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
You know, everybody who ever introduced me should go like she just did. Make me feel important.
Okay, well, you're important.
Yes, I am important.
Yes,
anyway, thank you for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate you joining us today. This is a weekly podcast, and in this podcast, we talk about
love, life, family, relationship. Y'all know what it is. What?
We talk about God as well.
In God,
not just relationship.
God's relationship. Yes. Y'all, anyway. I feel like someone is just hating on my energy. Obviously, you guys can see I'm very much hyped because I had 2 cups of coffee this morning. And I feel like you're just such a hater.
I'm just hating. Hey, listen.
You are.
It's a new year. It's a new me. So I do different stuff now. So
listen, you got to catch up with my energy, though. You know? You need to start.
I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna get on the table and start jumping so I can catch up. Listen, I'm not a coffee drinker, and I don't intend to become one. In fact, I think if anyone's drinking a lot of coffee, they should start cutting down on it. Anyway, so much about the energy and so forth. Before we get into the topic of the day, let's quickly jump into our blissful moments where we share some of the highlights of our week.
That's right.
Let's go.
Alrighty, babe. What's your blissful moment, baby?
I don't have one.
I have one.
Yeah.
This weekend, you know, it's this coming up Tuesday is my daddy's birthday.
Okay, we party again.
Partying again. Although last weekend we had a good time.
What did we do last weekend?
My sister-in-law's dad's
Oh yes,
party.
we attended the party on Saturday.
Yes, and
yeah,
now
it was
this
good. It was
weekend, this Tuesday coming up is my dad's birthday.
Jeez, you know,
pew, pew,
it's
pew,
getting
pew.
exhausting. Every weekend there's something, but you know, it's good to enjoy ourselves. Last weekend was great. I actually got tired. I'm usually the one like nonstop when it comes to just being on the floor doing my thing. Well, you can call it dancing, but some people just call it me doing my thing.
Yeah.
I actually had to take a break early on too. Like 10 o'clock, I was like, man, I got to sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this woman, she was an Energizer bunny.
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
But it was good. I mean, they had a good DJ. The decoration was on point.
Yeah.
I ate all the food, I think. Well, I didn't eat. I didn't take a whole lot.
I didn't have time to eat. That's how much I was on the dance floor dancing the night away.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, I didn't even eat anything. I feel like even before we left the house, I didn't eat nothing.
See, when you go into events, and that's something that I've been doing since I was younger, I always eat before I leave. Yeah. I always do. These days, especially after COVID, it seems like it's been a trend that the food gets served really late. I'm talking about. And
I think my mom didn't even
9:30.
Yeah, my mom was like, you know what? I'm not eating this late. 10 o'clock. I'm just gonna take food home. And I was like, listen, I wasn't even about the food because this man over here told me that, hey, I don't want to hear it. When we get there, we not sitting down, y'all. He was like, we're not sitting down. We're going to be on the dance floor.
I'm not the type who like to sit down. If we go to a party, we go there to enjoy ourselves.
I think it's the new age because y'all remember he turned a new age last two weeks ago.
No. See, I worked all day.
It's a new age.
I worked that day and I got home.
Keep up with this 25-year-old. You know, I'm just saying. So yeah, I feel like we're still in that New Year phase, you know, because of all these parties going on. But it was a good time. And now, you know, we're going to eat more cake. So I'm hoping that after my dad's birthday, do we have something else coming up?
No, we have our anniversary, but that's
we have something else coming up, and I'm 2 weeks
sure. We have a client's party, but that's on the 17th.
I'm sure before the end of the month,
something will happen.
We'll have another party. So now, let's go ahead and jump into today's topic, which is
set God's plan and your relationship. It's good to make plans, but remember, our plans are not completely under our control.
Right.
Yes, we will get up every day and we'll work at it, but something wakes us up. Someone, some higher beings gives us the ability to wake up.
Yes.
And the ability to think.
Right.
The energy we need. So all of this comes from somewhere. Mm-hmm. And yes, it comes from God.
All right. Now let's talk about relationship goals.
Yes. So just like we're talking about, you know, any plans for the year, you got to put God in it. Just like your relationship, you got to put God in it as well.
Yes.
Otherwise, yes, I may intend to marry you. Well, I married you already. But imagine if we were married, I may intend to marry you. But if God says you're not marrying this girl, it's not going to happen. Let's try to understand what it means to set God's plan within your goal or your relationship. How do you do that?
Listen, y'all, if you've been trying all this year on your own,
it's about time to get some help.
It's about time to be like, all right, God, I give up. I need you in my relationship. I need you in to help me find Mr. Right or Mr. or Mrs. Right. Because you have to. If you tried so many, all the possible ways that are out there, and you're still not able to find Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, you really have to go to God. I mean, it's good for you to start out the year, especially if you're really in that stage of your life and you're like, okay, I need to settle down. I need to find me someone that's going to, you know, have all of the aspirations, the desires, the dreams, and the things that I want in life. I'm going to go to God and ask God. As I mentioned to you last week, or the week before, about Proverbs 3:5-6. That's one of my favorite Bible verses of all time. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not into your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. This is so true. Like, I woke up in the morning sometime, I don't know what to do. I'm like, Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, not just like with your mind, but with all your heart. And I feel like this Bible verse really encouraged me. And I'm pretty sure it will encourage you to invite God into every aspect of your life. And I think that also has to be including your relationship.
Listen, relationship can be challenging.
Yeah.
And try to do it alone. Believe me, you're bound to fail this challenge. Listen, we're sitting here. That doesn't mean we are good.
Did you pray for me, babe?
I pray for you every morning.
Did you pray for me when you were seeking for a girl?
I know I wasn't at that level then. Oh, okay. I just needed a good woman.
So you were praying with all your heart then?
I don't think I was praying at all. I was just telling God, hey, listen, I'm out here. Just give me something. No.
Okay. I feel some type of way now.
Your prayer caught me.
Oh.
See, I wasn't praying for a woman.
Okay.
I was just... That's me being honest.
Okay,
I wasn't the type of kneel around and says, God, please help me find a good woman.
I wasn't kneeling around praying to God.
Did I say you were? I didn't say you were. I'm just saying that I wasn't the type of person kneeling around asking God to give me a good woman.
Yeah.
But you know, listen, you were praying for it and God made me find you.
Hey, I'll take that.
But relationship.
That was good though.
Relationship is challenging. Oh yeah, I'm always good. I want to say good thing. But relationship is challenging. And as I was saying, yes, we can have fun together, but there are times that she pisses me off and I piss her off, and sometimes we call each other out, and sometimes we get upset.
Not names, never
yes,
names.
We have certain level we don't get to. Mm-hmm. But this is me saying that if you don't have God in your relationship, when the difficulties come, this is moments where you can literally just say, you know what? I'm done.
Yes,
I'm gone. But having God in it, God helps you find ways. I agree. And helps you. You know, one thing about relationship, you'll learn to tolerate the person that you're with.
Yep.
And without being able to tolerate, because, you know, listen, there are certain things that Cece does, Shissy does.
Go ask my dad.
And Cece just do what she does. Mm-hmm. She's trying to understand that there's certain things that I do and that I do. And yes, I want to get better at them, but it's probably going to take some time for me to get better at them.
Forever.
But when you love someone and you have God be part of it, you believe that you have, and that's where faith is very important. You have to believe in what you have, and you have to believe that God can walk you through any challenges you run into.
Absolutely.
Because one thing that makes people want to break their relationship is that they get to the point where they can't see this ever working. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that every relationship will ever work. There are people that work together and it was no longer together now. They probably had no business being together. It was just by accident they got together.
Listen.
So for a relationship like this, the best thing to do is to end it. But not every relationship has to get there. And if you have God with you, like Proverbs 3 verse 5-6 says, put God in what you do. Yes. He will direct your path. He will show you the way.
That's right.
And sometimes he shows you the way one step at a time because you can't see the rest of it.
Listen,
but trust in him. Take that first step and then he'll show you the next one. And then the next one.
That's right.
And then the next one. And us sitting here, there's been so many times that we couldn't see. Like, you know, one of the problems I had was I need to be able to see what's happening tomorrow, next week, next year. Mm-hmm. And God really helped me understand that I don't have to see everything.
Yeah.
I just need to trust him that the step that I'm taking today is the right step he wants me to take. Once I've taken that step, it'll show me the next one and the next one. But obviously I have to do it in the way that God direct me to.
Right.
Obviously not take advantage of other people. Be good to those around me. Be good to my family. Make sure that everything I do, I give God a space in it. Yeah. That's why I will never leave my house without ever asking God, listen, I'm getting on this road. I know it's not me driving. You are there with me. So please guide me. Yeah. I always ask him to keep an eye on my woman and my kids at home. And
read this. Come on, it's a king.
Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step.
That's right.
He got that from me.
Oh, okay.
That was a quote from Martin Luther King. And he's so right.
Yes.
You know,
and he did that.
We don't have to see. So God has the plan.
Look where we are now.
Yeah. So, you know, God has the plan. And if we trust in him, the plan will work.
Amen.
We just have to trust, but we have to work as well.
That's right. Because trust. So faith without work is dead. Like, what are you doing? My mom and I was talking about this sometime this week. Like, people are, you know, looking for things and they're not
working. They're not working towards getting it.
Right.
You will never get it. You know, but here's some of the things that you can do, you know, to make sure that your actions and your behaviors in your relationship is really welcoming God.
I agree.
You know, one thing I want to start by saying is when you're dating someone, expect to be their number one, right? So no one else should be put above them. Now, as Christian, yes, you may be important to me when I'm dating you, but God has a special place in both of our lives.
That's right.
And we give God first place.
The glory. Yes. First place.
Yes. We give him first place.
Yes.
Not that our significant other is not important. Right. But if God is part of our plan, God gets the first place.
Amen.
Which means as we carry on through that journey of building something together, God is always number one.
God is always number one. You know, Denzel said it best. Put God first in everything that you do. And I would definitely say, you know, one thing you want to add on your godly plan is to serve the Lord together. One thing that my husband and I would do is, of course, we go to church together and we were part of the youth group and we do things for at our church, which is something that's very important. So, and I think serving God together is, to me, is a way of bettering ourselves.
Well, not just that. You get to be together.
True.
Right?
By doing God's work.
You get to be together because, when you say you're in a relationship with someone, if you can't find the time to do things that you're doing for God together, then
it's the best thing
what's
ever.
the point of being in a relationship?
Yes, it's the best thing ever.
Now, listen, we live in a world that has challenges, sometimes scheduling conflicts, but we do our best.
Yeah.
To do everything together.
And I think if you have kids, one thing also that's great is when you grab the whole family and you do things together, it's such an amazing feeling for your kids to see that we serve the Lord together. We do things, community work together. And I think that alone is going to add into their little mind.
Oh, yes.
Oh, this is important. If mommy and dad is doing it, this is important. And I truly feel like when you do a thing like this together, it pleases God.
Oh, yes. And not God. Just that. I'm talking about, community service, but reading the Bible together is a good thing.
Yes, reading. Listen, if you're dating someone who's like always falling asleep when you read the Bible, there's something wrong with that person. You need to pick up the Bible and hate him with the Bible because, listen, the devil is a liar. It could be to her too. Okay, or her. Typically, it's the guy that falls asleep. It's not the girls. The ladies don't fall asleep. Typically, it's y'all be falling asleep because y'all don't want to read. And sometimes it's hard because you feel like it's not so much of a waste, but you just don't have the energy.
Well, if you're doing something together, it's not just reading, because when you read the Bible, you read a passage and then afterwards you got to do some reflection on it.
Yes.
If one person is sleeping while the other one person is so disinterested that they couldn't remember the words they read 2 sentences ago.
Yes. And
what
my
good is that
going to
do?
That. He still falls asleep
No.
Listen, we as a family, we do Bible studies together. And me and the girls, we do daily devotional together, which is something that I am pouring in more and more every single day. Every week, my girls and I, we do daily. Well, we do every other day daily devotionals, which is great because we live in a world where things are so really harsh. And I feel like this is something, whether if you have boys or girls, having some kind of a God's word over them and make them understand that this is important. It's great. It's great.
It's great to do that and going to church together. I know we briefly mentioned doing things together earlier, but going to church,
and worship,
go to church together and praise and sing and reflect on sermons, which I haven't done that recently, but I've been paying more attention to sermons these days.
Yes, but because of who?
Because of her.
Okay.
But it's important to do those things together.
And I know sometimes we get so busy with our schedule. We get so busy with things going on social media, distraction. We don't have time for church. It's important because I feel like the last few years, my husband and I were more so virtual. And yes, when I will be the one that's like solely, fully putting all my attention doing the virtual church. And you were like, well,
here's the thing. You have to be in it to really get in the virtual church. Because listen, sometimes, Cece, one thing she does when she's attending virtual church, nothing else is happening.
No.
She gets there and she's sat and she's staying when they're staying in the church. She opens her Bible when they open their Bibles in the church. Now that's all virtual. She's sitting in front of the screen. She does everything as if she was. The only thing she doesn't do, she doesn't dress up like she's going to church. But she does everything else.
When I clean up?
Yes, she does everything else as if she was in church. Me, on the other hand, I'm usually doing something. And to my defense, there's always something that needs to get done. If you're home,
it can get done after the 2 hours.
If I was at a church facility, it would have been different than I am in church. But when I'm at home, it's still a home feel. I gotta be doing something.
Listen, y'all, like virtual for me it's like felt like I was there. Like there's TD Jakes the last 3 years since COVID. I've been like watching this every Sunday morning, and y'all be sometimes sobbing and crying, and my daughters be like, "Mommy, what's wrong?" It's because I'm in the moment.
Yes, so I got to give you that. I'm not at that level yet, although I've sat sometime and watched
and fall asleep
part of the sermon and dozed off for part of it.
Yeah,
I'm not there, but there's in virtual church, there's nothing wrong with it. I think if you really put yourself in a position to do, but if you have the means and the capability to actually attend a physical church,
go to the temple of God.
It feels different.
Yeah, the temple.
And for someone like myself, that helps cut out any distraction.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I doze off in church, but that's a whole different.
Sometimes,
that's a whole different.
Every time you.
That's a whole different conversation. But I can focus more. I can sing along. I could do it. So I can focus. So do these things together. Mm-hmm. If you're a virtual church attendant, force your partner to come and sit with you. And I probably would have gotten better if Cece forced me. She usually just kind of let me be.
I do force you, but sometimes I'm like, listen, you do you, because we're going to have it.
I become a distraction if she's trying to force me to be.
You do.
But do this thing. Now, we do go to church. Now, since COVID is no longer, we attend church normally. And Cece's so hooked on virtual church. Sometimes our church will end right around the time that the virtual session will start. We'll be in the car and she just put the thing on
and go on TV
right, then she just come from church.
Yeah, I didn't get anything at my church, so I'm going. It's the truth. Yeah. It is what it is, and I think this is why, which takes me to the next talk. Is to grow together spiritually, because my husband has grown so much, and I truly feel like you've grown because of me. Let me rephrase that: because of God through me.
Okay, good rephrasing.
And I truly feel like because of the way that I am spiritually speaking since 2019, and I think lately you've been reading Bibles, you've been doing the godly stuff, which is great. Not that you're not a godly person, because you were serving at your church back home.
Yes, but that was just me doing. But and this is where
doing what?
I was just fulfilling my duties, and that was kind of shallow.
Yeah, because your mom put you in there, and then you had no choice, and you had to do what your mom told you to do.
I kind of liked it too, because you get to be in the spotlight. When you're an altar server, you're up there, people sees you. You kind of become a mini celebrity.
Yeah, he was an altar server back home, and listen, he was a godly man. He almost became a priest. So listen,
you get. Listen, it was a good thing, and it still is a good thing. I think serving in your church, whether you're serving as a child or as an adult, it's still serving. And yes, I've been serving in church since I was little.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is, yes, you have to allow yourself to grow together spiritually. And yes, I have grown.
Yes.
Your
prayer is different.
Yes, my prayer is different. I'm able to read the Bible now. There's some translation of the Bible I don't do well with. I had to get a normal Bible.
The elementary level Bible.
No. But I had to get a translation.
It is.
I had to get a translation.
Realize that, baby? It is. Yes, it is.
Well, I had to get a Bible that's written in language that I can read, that I don't have to go and interpret to get a translator to tell me what I just read.
Which is the element or middle school level. That's what they are.
It's a man's Bible, and it has commentary built into it. So after I read it, there's things that I can kind of read just to make sure that I understand it more, which is important. And I say this to anyone who may not have been raised in a place where they read the Bible and really understand some of the more complex translation of the Bible.
I didn't.
Get you something that you can understand.
I didn't, but
listen, we all have our strength, and you got to play to your strength.
Yeah.
Me reading these things that confuses me is not something that I'm willing to put up with.
My husband don't like the King James Version.
I want to simplify things. And yes, listen, I've been listening to Myron Golden. He is an expert in dissecting things within the Bible. That's him. I'm not him. No, growing together allows you to do a couple of things. You get to discover new things.
Sure.
Because as you grow spiritually, you get to experience new things. You get to do new things.
Right.
You get to read new things. You get to understand new things. And with that comes, it changes your views of God and your life and the things around you, even the world that we live in.
Oh, yeah.
Because of your spiritual growth, you tend to see things differently. You tend to respond to things differently. You stop reacting to things because you realize that with God, there's a certain level of control, a certain level of understanding that comes with it.
That's right.
And you only get that if you grow. If you're still young and immature when it comes to your faith, you probably will feel differently. But if you get to the point where you really become mature in your faith, it changes the way you do things.
Not just if you're young. There's some older people who still.
I said young and immature.
Oh, okay. All right. I missed that part.
That's incorrect.
Okay.
You know, it's important to trust in God's plan for each other, for your relationship.
Right. For your partner.
You know, because God's plan is greater than the plan you have for yourself.
That's right.
You know, and when God plans things for you, again, that doesn't mean it's going to be a walk in the park.
Right.
That doesn't mean you'll run into no difficulties whatsoever. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to appreciate what you do and everything's going to flow. And no, you're going to run into some bumpy stuff. But when it's God's plan, it doesn't matter what you run into. He's going to make sure that you come through. But you have to trust.
Yes.
You have to trust.
And I want to say this. And if God happened to interfere in your plans or your partner's plan, just know that is because the plan that you and your partner had wasn't what he had for you.
Yeah.
It's because he has something better for you. Because I can remember 2019, 2018, you know, we had our own stuff going on. And then God is like, that's not what I have for y'all. And of course,
let's turn it around.
He did turn around and turn us into a whole different person and turned me into like, who is this girl? So, so the key thing is to trust him, knowing that whatever God is doing, always the best for you. A lot of time we don't see it that way because we feel like, oh man, this is what I want to do. I want to have like the best job in the world. But God is like, there's a businesswoman inside of you. Who are you kidding?
Yeah.
You know?
It's important. Trusting. Now, again, it's not easy because sometimes there are things you run into and you're like, why me?
It
is. And somehow when you're in the middle of it, you can't see it either. It's after you pull that, you look back and you realize that. Well,
it's when you're like going through the storm. You know, it's the storm. You don't see it while you're in the storm because you're navigating through it. However, when you get out, you're like, wow. But we have to remember that no one is perfect.
Listen, no one is perfect. I'm not, she's not, and I'll never be. God never made us to be perfect. But you know, as long as me and my partner is focused on God and focused on making ourselves better as Christian, there's not much else we should ask. It's continue working, continue improving from where we are. At the end of the day, everyone has a choice on how they view their relationship and what goals they make in their relationship. Personally, and I think we can say that personally, we chose to fall in love with each other more and more. And as we fall in love with each other, we fall in love more with God. That's right. As opposed to be in a relationship where we wear matching T-shirts where we just going around and say, I'm his, I'm hers, and
he's mine,
and I am hers and she's mine. I'm getting this wrong, but that just become a front that we put in. We're fighting each other away from, but behind closed doors. So listen, regardless of what social media or what's being tagged in social media as relationship goal, I'm thankful that for the work God has done in our relationship and in my life and in your life, in our children's life. And that's made us not only grateful, but very appreciative of everything that's been happening in our lives. Yeah. The difficulties and the good times. Right. And I'll tell you, we have more good times than we have bad times.
Yes. Amen to that.
But yes.
Listen, I want to say this for my young peoples out there, my young peoples, okay? It is so important for you to follow God's plan for your life, because having God plans, having God in your life is going to definitely influence your future better. It's going to bring you someone that you were not expected of, and is going to give you a better life. Don't think you can do this alone. Include God in your plans.
Yeah. And for those of you who are married, who are committed to each other, take a look back at your shared goals and ensure that, you know, they align with your evolving understanding of your faith. That's important.
Yes.
Because it's a journey that will help you grow with each other, and that will help bond your relationship even better.
Yes.
So listen, you only go up from where you are.
That's right.
But God has to be part of it.
That's right.
So make it work.
Make it work in God's way. We told you guys already, it's going to be about God's relationship this year. So because you need it, okay? I feel like God put it in my spirit last year, and this is what we're doing this year. So we are listening and
we're delivering, and we're working, we're presenting, we're researching, and we're growing.
Yes. We growing, y'all. We are growing.
Yeah. So with that said, I thank all of you guys for sticking around for this extra long podcast.
That is needed.
Where we talk about setting God's goal in our relationship.
That's right.
So to all of you guys out there who are either starting a relationship or living a relationship or is not in a relationship or maybe ending a relationship, look to see what role that God plays in that relationship. And I guarantee you, if God is in that relationship, obviously if it was meant to be, God will make sure that it stays.
Right.
If it wasn't meant to be, God will guide you out of it and guide you into the next one.
Right.
But remember, wherever you are in that relationship or not even in that relationship, make sure that you keep God as part of your plan.
That's right.
So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys for listening to us.
That's right.
And please share this podcast. Please remember to like the podcast. Please remember to give us or leave us some comments. You guys really commented on the ones from last week. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Some very good thoughts
were
shared, and we thank you guys for doing so.
Yes.
And
if you have any godly relationship topic you want us to talk about, please, by all means, as it is something that it's going to help me. Trust me, because I'm the one that put the content together. My husband just sitting there and do nothing. I'm just kidding. He's the editing guy. So yes, by all means, please email me at imcbliss@gmail.com, or you can go ahead and leave me the comments. I'll take it there too, although I haven't responded to you guys, but it's coming, I promise. So I'll definitely appreciate it.
So we thank you everybody for listening to our podcast and tuning in every Saturday for insightful episodes just like this one. Until next time, stay blissful. Peace. Bye.